Peter Clausen, and I run a company called Bugs in Cyberspace. We sell pet bugs to anybody who wants one, really, including private hobbyists who just want a pet bug in their collection, parents who want to get a unique bug pet for their kids, teachers, things for the classroom, museums, zoos in some cases. Keeping pet bugs is a really fun way to bring a little bit of nature into the home and experience something of the natural world. It's fun, it's different. A lot of people grow up with dogs and cats here in the United States. There are other countries, like Japan for example, where people keep a whole bunch of different kinds of bugs as pets. There are places here in the United States, if you live in an apartment for example, where maybe a pet bug is a little bit more practical, doesn't require some of the pet deposits that other pets might require, a little bit easier to hide perhaps. Had a college student or 100 who have gotten bugs for their dorms, kept it in closets or in bins underneath their beds. I've been doing this. I've had a website up since 1997, so that's about 21 years now. I started out as a hobbyist and really still consider myself a hobbyist rather than a dealer, although everybody thinks of me as a dealer. I'm always saying that I'm just selling bugs so that I can buy more bugs, and that's mostly what I do, is I purchase specimens from a variety of different people, both collectors and breeders, and then I put them up on the website and resell them. And so I have a constantly rotating selection of bugs, and it's a lot of fun for me. Post a lot of videos to Instagram, shorter clips than what I'll be putting here on YouTube. I've learned a lesson recently about cross-posting, and so I will be putting unique videos onto this new YouTube channel, and also uploading some of the old ones from my old YouTube channel that were never posted on Instagram. So two separate things. You guys might check me out over there. This is my business card. I don't know if we're in focus here whatsoever. I'm going to be learning some new video techniques. I spend a lot of time doing videos, of course, on my phone typically, and that doesn't really lend itself too well to the YouTube format with the screen going the other direction, more of a widescreen format. So I'm going to be going through a little bit of a learning curve. I think I started my original YouTube channel in 2008, which is 10 years ago now, 2018. And had a lot of really great videos. I used to get public domain music and use it as the background, and in order for it to be public domain, the video or the music had to be over 75 years old or something like that, and I used to download it off of MP3s, I think, or MIDI files off of websites that said they were public domain, and I put them on YouTube. But then YouTube got a little bit more, I don't know, I started getting some copyright claims for that old music, so I started taking them back out of the videos, but I never talked in any of my videos. I always had lots of compliments for the music, and I loved it too. It was a lot of fun, and I always tried to match music with what was going on in the video in terms of the bug. Sometimes it was, if it was a bug from India, for example, I would try to find some India-themed music. If it was like a rhino beetle or something, I would try to find something that had kind of a tropical feel to it. And I know a lot of my old subscribers who I hope to bring from the old channel here to the new channel are going to miss that music, but doing things that old way I'm going to try to get away from, because I want to do everything right by YouTube and make sure I'm following all the rules and everything. So I became a business just through being a hobbyist, and my story is that I was spending a lot of time and effort in trading insects. with people around the country, and just acquiring new things all the time because I had a passion for seeing new things, and diversity is what this is all about for me. That's why since I was a kid and first went outside, I've been constantly interested in bugs, insects, everything that falls into those categories, to include spiders, arachnids, and centipedes and millipedes, and pretty much anything else with 6 or more legs. I'm not really into snakes, not really into reptiles. I do have a bearded dragon, we have a leopard gecko, but my passion has always been for insects, and never a dull moment, never a boring moment for me. Even in the winter months, I can go outside and I can find something if I look around for a few minutes. And not too difficult to find something I've never seen before. I've seen hundreds of species in the backyard of this house I'm now living in, and new ones on a very regular basis. And so through trading with people all of the time, I eventually acquired quite a few different species of pet insects, ones that lend themselves well to being raised in captivity with very little care. Some of them require a little bit more care, like devil's flower mantises. But I've just kind of gotten used to trading with people and not taking money for it. And then once I'd gotten everything that I kind of wanted, and it's never everything, but the majority of what happened to be in the U.S. hobby at that time, I started throwing up pictures on my website of some of the additional things that I was getting, and it was harder and harder for me to find people to trade with, and so people started to offer me money for the bugs that I had, and I was initially pretty reluctant to take money for bugs. It just didn't make sense to me. It wasn't something that I had ever done before. It was out of my comfort zone. But gradually, I got used to it. And over the course of working at UPS for 19 years, I sort of had my website, my home business, my hobby business on the side, and it gradually grew over the course of a couple decades to a point where I was able to quit my job at UPS and make a living doing what I love to do. It had always been my passion. And for me, that means 16-hour days, 7 days a week. But I'm never at work, and yet I'm always at work. And my work is my play, as they say. And so I've managed to do well enough with that I get to continue doing that, and hopefully will get to continue doing that for the foreseeable future. On the backside of my business card, I have another business, sort of falls under the same umbrella, but it's a dead insect business. By virtue of having all of these live bugs all the time, they would, through the course of just the natural life cycle, die at some point, and I would put them in the freezer. And various people I have lived with, a couple wives over the course. I'm single now, but I have had to purchase additional freezers to keep them in. And so once a lot had accumulated, I decided, well, people sell dead insects, so I'm going to start another website, and that's what I did. And so I sell dead insects as well. So I quit my job at UPS about 4 years ago, and maybe it's been 5 years now. Hard to keep track. Time flies. And I just stay busy all the time doing this. And so on this channel, I'm going to showcase a lot of the material that's coming and going through the course of me running this business. I have a few employees, and we do some fun things together. One of the things that we do for our customers is we take drawing requests in conjunction with their live pet bug orders. And they for example, one customer for a shipment we did today, they requested some bugs riding in the Magic School Bus, which was a PBS cartoon show, sort of science-based, I think. It's a little bit after my time as a kid, so I never watched it personally, but I was roughly familiar with it. And so one of our employees, who is a biological illustrator and a fine one at that, she was able to render this drawing, and it's really quite remarkable. If I had my phone, I would just load it up and show you the picture, but I do not on me. And so that's one of the fun things that we do. We have a lot of products that we work on, little mantis habitat kits, things like that. We make fruit fly cultures, we breed mantises, we breed a whole bunch of different kinds of roaches.